What I'm going to reveal today was considered so dangerous by 19th century occultists that it remained hidden for over 150 years. A common substance in your kitchen holds spiritual secrets that can unlock your soul's specific mission and activate dormant abilities you never imagined you possessed. Helena Blavatsky, after 7 years studying with Tibetan masters, discovered that salt is not just a mineral. It's an advanced spiritual technology that functions as a master key to access your soul's Akashic records and reveal your divine purpose in this incarnation. In 1877, a woman given up on by New York doctors was completely healed in 21 days, using only consecrated sea salt through specific rituals that Blavatsky learned in Tibet. But the physical healing was just the beginning. The woman developed clairvoyance and the ability to communicate with higher dimensions that remained active for the rest of her life. What the masters revealed left even Blavatsky in shock. Each salt crystal contains vibrational frequencies identical to your energy centers. When used correctly, salt reconnects your consciousness to your soul's original programming, functioning as a spiritual GPS that reveals not only who you really are, but what your specific mission is in this life. For 150 years, these techniques remained restricted to closed esoteric circles. Secret societies guarded this knowledge because they understood the transformative power it represents. Salt can activate past life memories, dissolve limiting karmic patterns, and drastically accelerate your spiritual evolution. Today, you will discover 5 forbidden revelations about salt that can completely transform your spiritual journey. Specific techniques for using different types of salt as portals to higher dimensions, protocols for transmuting negative karma instantly, and the secret method for activating your divine purpose that was programmed into your soul before you were even born. Prepare yourself, because these revelations will reveal truths about your spiritual nature that will forever change how you see your existence and your unlimited potential. Before revealing these sacred discoveries that change the lives of thousands of people, I need to ask you a question that might explain mysterious experiences you've had but never fully understood. Have you ever noticed how sometimes, when you're going through moments of profound spiritual transformation or existential crises, your body intensely craves salty foods? Or have you noticed that your tears taste different when you're in states of deep prayer or transcendental meditation compared to when you cry from common sadness? If you answered yes to any of these questions, your soul is already trying to communicate something to you that Helena Blavatsky took years to understand through the teachings of the Tibetan masters. According to the secret archives of the Theosophical Society, these cravings and bodily changes are not coincidences. They are signs that your soul is preparing to receive information from higher planes and needs salt as an energetic conductor to process these dimensional transmissions. Blavatsky documented in her private diaries over 200 cases of students who reported identical experiences before great evolutionary leaps in their consciousness. What she discovered through the Mahatmas is that salt functions as a spiritual frequency amplifier. When your soul is ready to receive guidance from ascended masters or access past life memories, your body instinctively seeks more salt to create the energetic conditions necessary for these multidimensional connections. This discovery revolutionized not only the esoteric understanding of the 19th century, but offers you today a practical key to recognizing when your soul is trying to communicate and how to consciously respond to these internal calls. The most fascinating thing is that Blavatsky revealed that different types of salt connect you to different aspects of your spiritual mission. Some unlock past life memories, others activate dormant psychic abilities, and still others reveal your divine purpose in this specific incarnation. By the way, I have a curiosity. Where are you watching me from right now? Leave a comment with your city. I love knowing how these sacred revelations are reaching awakened souls around the world. Maybe your location has a special energetic connection to the teachings we're going to explore. Now let's go to the first revelation that will completely change your perception about what you thought was just a common seasoning. Helena Petrovna Blavatsky was born in 1831 in Ukraine, into an aristocratic family that had already shown signs of psychic sensitivity for generations. At 17, she embarked on an epic journey that would take her across 3 continents in search of the hidden masters who supposedly guarded the deepest secrets of human existence. Between 1848 and 1875, she traveled through Egypt, studied with Sufis in the Middle East, penetrated secret Tibetan monasteries forbidden to Westerners, and was initiated into esoteric traditions that had remained hidden for millennia. What makes Helena Blavatsky an unquestionable authority on spiritual mysteries is the documented fact that she was the first Westerner to receive direct teachings from the ascended masters Kut Humi and Moria El, evolved beings who operated from higher planes of consciousness. More than 1,400 letters from these entities, written in handwriting that graphology experts confirmed belonged to no known human being, are preserved in the London Theosophical Society archives to this day. During her 7 years in Tibet, between 1868 and 1875, Blavatsky underwent initiations that very few human beings have ever experienced. The lamas documented that she could maintain full consciousness during astral projections that lasted entire days, communicated telepathically with the masters across distances of thousands of miles, and demonstrated knowledge of sacred texts she had never physically studied. Her main work, The Secret Doctrine, published in 1888, contains more than 1,500 pages of teachings that she claimed to have received directly from the masters through inspired, automatic writing. Scientists of the time, including Thomas Edison and Alfred Russel Wallace, witnessed Blavatsky producing knowledge about quantum physics, astronomy, and molecular biology that would only be discovered by official science decades later. The Theosophical Society she co-founded in 1875 grew to more than 45,000 members in 69 countries during her lifetime, including personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, William Butler Yeats, and Rudolf Steiner. After her death in 1891, her teachings influenced spiritual movements around the world and continue to be studied by millions of truth seekers. But there is a discovery by Blavatsky that was so disturbing, so revolutionary, that Master Kut Humi himself begged for it to be kept secret forever. A revelation about salt that challenges everything humanity believes about spiritual evolution and the soul's purpose. What you are about to discover was considered too dangerous to be revealed publicly, until now. Only truly prepared souls could understand and apply this wisdom without devastating consequences to their mental sanity. Through a series of telepathic communications with Master Kut Humi, documented in letters preserved to this day, Blavatsky discovered that salt functions as a physical Akashic library. Each crystal contains complete records of all experiences your soul has accumulated through multiple incarnations. To understand this, imagine that your soul is like a cosmic book with thousands of chapters, where each life represents a different page. Salt acts as a universal reader, capable of accessing any page of that book when you use it with the correct consciousness and techniques. Master Kut Humi taught that when salt dissolves in water or is absorbed by the body, its crystalline structures enter into resonance with the personal Akashic records recorded in your aura, unlocking memories and knowledge from previous lives. The case that proved this revelation happened in 1879 with Margaret Collins, a Boston teacher who sought Blavatsky suffering from severe depression and an inexplicable feeling of not belonging to this world. Following instructions received from the masters, Helena guided Margaret to dissolve a spoonful of consecrated sea salt in spring water during the full moon, drinking while repeating specific mantras in Sanskrit that would activate the connection with her past lives. On the third night of the protocol, Margaret experienced crystal-clear visions of a previous incarnation as a priestess in Delphi, ancient Greece. She saw specific details of the temple, rituals, and most importantly, understood that her current depression was connected to a vow of celibacy and isolation she had made in that life, and that was still energetically active in her present soul. With this understanding, she was able to dissolve the karmic pattern using techniques that Blavatsky had learned from the Tibetan masters. The result was recorded in letters of the time. In 21 days, Margaret not only completely overcame depression, but developed remarkable mediumistic abilities and became one of the main mediums of the Theosophical Society, channeling teachings from the masters that were preserved in more than 300 pages of sacred texts still studied today. This case demonstrated that salt, when used correctly, not only reveals who you were, but releases the knowledge and abilities that your soul developed throughout multiple incarnations, making this spiritual treasure available for your current life. But this is just the beginning. The second revelation will show how salt can transform your present reality in even more profound ways. Here's where it gets absolutely incredible. Master Moria L revealed to Blavatsky that salt possesses an even more extraordinary property. It can literally transmute negative karmic patterns, dissolving spiritual debts accumulated throughout multiple lives and drastically accelerating your spiritual evolution. In her secret writings of 1882, Blavatsky explained that karma functions as energetic crystallizations that attach to the soul after actions, thoughts, or emotions of low vibration. These crystallizations create blockages that prevent the free flow of divine energy through the chakras and keep the soul trapped in repetitive cycles of suffering and limitation. Salt, especially when consecrated through specific rituals taught by the masters, acts as a universal karmic solvent that can dissolve these crystallizations and free the soul from destructive patterns. The most documented case of this transmutation happened with Robert Morrison, a London businessman who sought Blavatsky in 1883, facing an endless series of financial failures and destructive relationships. Through clairvoyance, Blavatsky identified that he carried the karma of having been a slave trader in 3 previous lives, creating energetic patterns of exploitation and injustice that manifested as unconscious self-sabotage in his current life. Following instructions from Master Moria L, she prescribed a 49-day protocol where Robert should dissolve consecrated Himalayan salt in water during sunrise, drinking while repeating specific mantras of karmic transmutation and visualizing golden light dissolving all negative crystallizations in his aura. Simultaneously, he should perform anonymous acts of charity daily to generate positive karma that would accelerate the purification process. The results were witnessed by multiple members of the Theosophical Society. In 40 days, Robert experienced a complete reversal in his financial situation, attracted a deep and lasting loving relationship, and developed a spiritual sensitivity that transformed him into one of London's main philanthropists, dedicating his new prosperity to humanitarian causes. But the third revelation, prepare your heart, because what Master Kuthumi discovered about salt and the activation of the soul's purpose will shake the foundations of your reality. It's something so profound, so transformative, that when you know this, you'll never look at your spiritual mission the same way again. Your life is about to be divided into before and after this revelation. The most revolutionary discovery that the Masters shared with Blavatsky was that salt functions as a spiritual mission decoder. Each soul comes to Earth with a specific purpose recorded in its essence, but this divine programming remains inaccessible to common consciousness. Salt, when used with the correct techniques, can activate this programming and clearly reveal what your true mission is in this incarnation. In preserved letters from 1884, Master Kuthumi explained that before incarnating, each soul goes through a process he called divine purpose codification, where its specific mission is recorded in crystalline frequencies that resonate perfectly with salt's molecular structures. When you consume salt during elevated states of consciousness, these frequencies come into tune and begin transmitting information directly to your superconscious mind. The case that proved this revelation involved Helena Rossetti, a young Italian woman who arrived in London in 1885, completely lost about her life purpose. Blavatsky guided her through a 33-day protocol where Helena should meditate daily, holding sea salt crystals in the palms of her hands, allowing her vital energy to impregnate the salt while asking specific questions about her spiritual mission. On the 21st day, Helena experienced a prophetic vision where she clearly saw that her soul had chosen this incarnation to be a bridge between Eastern and Western spiritual teachings. She saw specific details of how she should study, which masters to seek, and even met her future husband who would help her in this mission. Following these guidelines, Helena became one of the main translators of Sanskrit texts into Italian and established Italy's first yoga school, impacting thousands of lives. This third revelation connects all previous discoveries. Salt not only reveals who you were and transmutes what you need to heal, but activates what you came to be in this life. It's the master key that unlocks your complete divine potential and aligns your earthly existence with your cosmic mission. Now you must be wondering how this sacred knowledge was applied in specific cases that completely transformed lives. The Theosophical Society archives contain detailed documentation of hundreds of cases where the salt techniques revealed by the masters to Blavatsky transformed lives in miraculous ways. 3 specific cases demonstrate the practical power of these sacred revelations. In 1888, Dr. James Henderson, a physician from Philadelphia, sought Blavatsky after losing faith in traditional medicine. During a clairvoyance session, she revealed that he had been a druid healer in past lives, and his current purpose was to integrate physical medicine with spiritual healing. Following the SALT protocol for activating past memories, Henderson recovered knowledge of herbs and energy healing techniques. In 6 months, he developed revolutionary treatments that combined traditional medicine with druidic techniques, obtaining cure rates 300% higher than conventional methods of the time. The second case involved Sarah Williams, a 45-year-old woman who had lost 5 children in infancy and was in profound spiritual depression. Blavatsky identified through the masters that Sarah carried karma from a previous life where she had abandoned a child, creating a pattern of maternal loss. Using the karmic transmutation protocol with consecrated salt, Sarah not only healed the depression, but developed mediumistic abilities that connected her with the souls of her deceased children. She became one of Europe's main consoling mediums, helping thousands of grieving parents find peace and connection with their loved ones. The third most impressive case was Thomas Mitchell, a young factory worker who dreamed of being an artist but believed he had no talent. Through salt as a divine purpose activator, he discovered that his soul had chosen to come to awaken divine beauty through art. During sessions with consecrated salt, Thomas began channeling artistic knowledge from previous incarnations as an artist in Florence during the Renaissance. In 2 years, he became one of London's most celebrated painters, creating works that captured spiritual dimensions of reality that inspired spiritual awakening in those who contemplated them. These cases are extraordinary, but now I'm going to tell you the greatest secret of all. Blavatsky not only discovered these truths, but developed a specific method so that any person can activate these abilities without needing years of esoteric training. What I'm going to reveal to you now can be applied in your life today, and the results can appear in just 21 days. Are you ready for this? Helena Blavatsky developed 3 practical protocols that anyone can use to access salt's spiritual power, based on direct teachings from the Ascended Masters. These methods were tested by thousands of Theosophical Society students over more than a century. The first protocol is the Akashic Memory Awakening. Every Monday, during the waxing moon, dissolve a teaspoon of pure sea salt in a glass of spring water. Hold the glass with both hands and mentally form the question, "Show me who I was to understand who I came to be." Drink slowly while maintaining the intention to receive information about past lives relevant to your current evolution. Practice for 21 consecutive days and write down all impressions, dreams, or insights you receive. The second protocol is Accelerated Karmic Transmutation. For 7 consecutive Fridays, take a bath with Himalayan salt dissolved in warm water, visualizing all negative energy from past lives being dissolved and transmuted into golden light. While the water flows down your body, repeat, "I free myself from all patterns that do not serve my highest good." This protocol breaks limiting karmic contracts and accelerates your spiritual evolution. The third protocol is the Divine Purpose Activator. For 33 consecutive days, meditate holding a sea salt crystal in the palm of your left hand and another in your right. Allow your vital energy to impregnate the salt while asking, "What is my sacred mission in this incarnation?" After each session, place the crystals under your pillow. Your dreams will gradually reveal specific details about your spiritual purpose and how to manifest it practically. You don't need to be clairvoyant or have years of esoteric training to obtain profound results. Blavatsky emphasized that sincerity of intention and consistency of practice are more important than natural psychic abilities. The masters designed these protocols to work with anyone who is genuinely committed to their spiritual evolution and willing to dedicate daily time to consciousness growth. The key is to start slowly, trust the process, and document your experiences to recognize the guidance patterns that will emerge naturally. What makes Blavatsky's teachings about salt truly revolutionary is that they democratize access to spiritual wisdom that was previously reserved only for initiates in secret societies. Through these revelations from the Ascended Masters, any soul sincerely committed to its evolution can access abilities and knowledge that traditionally took decades of esoteric training to develop. Understand that you are not simply learning ancient techniques, you are participating in a greater cosmic plan. According to communications from the Masters preserved in Theosophical archives, humanity is entering a new spiritual era where occult knowledge needs to become accessible to accelerate the collective evolution of consciousness. Your willingness to explore these practices means that your soul was specifically chosen to participate in this planetary awakening. The 3 SALT protocols work because they connect you directly to the universal wisdom records that Masters Kut Humi and Moria L constantly access. When you work consciously with consecrated salt, you are not operating alone. You are tuning into a network of evolved beings who guide and support your spiritual journey from higher dimensions of reality. Your soul chose to be born exactly at this time in human history because it possesses specific gifts that the world needs now. Salt simply removes the veils that prevent you from remembering and expressing these gifts completely. Each meditation session with salt, each karmic transmutation bath, each purpose activation protocol is literally rewriting your cellular programming to align with the highest version of who you really are. Current members of the Theosophical Society around the world continue reporting extraordinary transformations using these same techniques. Doctors discover energy healing abilities, artists channel works that inspire spiritual awakening, educators develop revolutionary teaching methods, and ordinary people discover they have extraordinary missions disguised as apparently simple lives. You have the same unlimited potential that moved Helena Blavatsky to dedicate her entire life to serving humanity. Salt is just the catalyst. The true power resides in your awakened consciousness and your willingness to become an instrument of the divine plan on earth. But there is one last revelation from Blavatsky, something she whispered only to her closest disciples before departing, a truth about your personal destiny, about why you were born exactly at this time, at this moment in history. When you know this, you will finally understand why your soul chose to be here. Now, hearing these words, the final revelation that Helena Blavatsky received from the Ascended Masters was that each soul that genuinely seeks esoteric teachings in this era is fulfilling a specific cosmic mission, serving as a light anchor to accelerate humanity's spiritual awakening. You are not here by accident. Your soul was specifically chosen by the Masters to receive and apply this knowledge because you possess the innate ability to transmute dense energy into higher frequencies. The fact that you have arrived here, that you have resonated with these revelations about salt as spiritual technology, confirms that you are one of the advanced souls mentioned in Theosophical prophecies. Blavatsky wrote in her private letters that a time would come when thousands of awakened souls would find themselves simultaneously, each rediscovering fragments of ancient wisdom necessary to elevate planetary consciousness. That time is now. Your mission is not just to transform your own life through these SALT protocols. It's to become a living example that accelerated spiritual evolution is possible for anyone willing to commit to conscious practices. Each time you apply these techniques and experience genuine transformations, you strengthen the morphogenetic field that makes it easier for other souls to awaken as well. The Masters revealed that when a sufficient number of people are consciously using salt as a spiritual tool, a critical mass of consciousness will be reached, drastically accelerating the spiritual evolution of all humanity. You are an essential part of this cosmic plan, a fundamental piece in the puzzle of planetary transformation. Your journey began long before this current incarnation, crossing multiple lives where you developed the wisdom and sensitivity necessary to understand and apply these teachings now. Salt is your passport back home, to the complete remembrance of who you really are as an infinite spiritual being temporarily experiencing human form. If this journey touched something deep in your soul, if you felt that these words were specifically destined for you, then you are part of something very special. You are one of the awakened souls who were called to receive these sacred teachings. Click subscribe and activate the bell, because I have many more revelations from the Ascended Masters waiting for you. Now I need to know, which of these revelations about salt made your heart race? Which truth awakened something within you that had been asleep for lifetimes? Leave a comment telling me not just what you thought, but what you felt deeply. I personally read every word, because your awakening journey matters to me and to the masters who guide this work. Your story might be exactly what another soul needs to hear today to take the next step in their spiritual evolution. Share this video now. The universe will place this sacred message exactly in the hands of those who need it most to accelerate their evolution. Be part of this divine mission of transforming human consciousness.